Yeah, my people, bless up on yourself. I don't know, match day 20 of the Jamaican Premier League. I'm going to preview what's ahead of us tomorrow, Sunday. And guess what? Bless up on yourself. Thanks for all the support. Massive support from the people. Really appreciate it. Doesn't matter how many people are viewing the videos. Really appreciate. Take your time out and watch all the videos. As I am doing the Jamaican Premier League preview. I usually do this for the last month now. I've been doing previews since the start of the year. Yeah, so probably around since the start of the year I'm doing previews. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in the preview. But before I go into that, Cavalier, supposed to play Arnett Garden. That game going to be suspended. It's not going to play it on the weekend because they played that game a couple days ago against Cincinnati in the National Stadium. This is the thing. I don't know why the Jamaican Premier League, whatever the organization, the PFLJ is don't like why they suspend the games. Like when you look all over, in Europe, especially in the Champions League, in the Europa League, you have teams that played on Thursday and then go on to play on the weekend, which is Sunday. So normally when a team play in the Europa League on Thursday, they play on the weekend. So I just don't understand. I would just love to get some clarification. Why is it that when Arborview and Cavalier was playing at CFU Championship, especially at home, the games wouldn't play on the weekend? I just don't get it. It's a Champions League. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the excitement. Yeah, play midweek and play on the weekend. So Cavalier played at home on a Thursday against Cincinnati in the National Stadium. They lost 2-0. And then, why they can't play it on Sunday? The game's going to play on Sunday. So why can't them play it on Sunday and travel to Cincinnati on Monday? But sometimes I can understand, you want to give them the leeway, you want to give them as much time to prepare it. But it's just the nature of the game. What other league around Europe will do, as like the Bundesliga, the Seria A, the French Liga, they would let their team play it on a Friday and play the Champions League game on a Tuesday. If UEFA schedule them to play their Champions League game on Tuesday, I just don't get it. It's just a part of the whole concept of playing in your region Champions League and your domestic league. So I just don't get it. And it look, Cincinnati played on Thursday. Cincinnati going to play it also. I think Cincinnati played, I don't remember when Cincinnati played. Cincinnati next game will be tomorrow. So I don't get it. Cincinnati played on Sunday. They played Toronto at 2:30, in Cincinnati. So I just don't get it why Cavalier just cannot play on the weekend and getting these games rescheduled and making it a pack-up fixtures where a team going to play a rescheduled game. Like the game can't play on the weekend, but nature of the game, they do what they feel they do what they think is right for Cavalier. And I just don't get it, man. The CFU Club Championship was in Jamaica for a couple rounds, and whenever they play midweek games, they would not play games on the weekend, as it's just ridiculous for me. It's kind of ridiculous. But Cavalier lost 2-0 in a game that they kind of have moments in that game, to be honest. And I think they kind of played a little bit scared. I think they could have played a little bit more expansive football. They sit back a little bit too much, leaving Luciano Acosta with too many space around in that number 10 areas, in that little acute pockets between the defensive line and the midfield line. He was all over us, and you could see the big difference of where the MLS is at, because Cincinnati is a team that finished first in the Eastern Conference last MLS. Yeah, they go on and they lost the Eastern Conference final against Columbus, but you just see the big gap between MLS and the JPL. As the MLS is way ahead of us, but if we want to be a better league in this region, we must always looking to plug the gap between the MLS and the JPL. But if you go and look in Central America, where Costa Rica, their league is all the way above us. The standard of their league, you saw when Javan East team played Philadelphia Union Saprissa, in Saprissa Stadium, a place that not many teams go there and get a result. They lost their first game in 18 games at home, or 19 games at home. So yeah, you know, you could see the big difference of support, the stadium, the standard of the Costa Rican League. So we need to just look at it and, you know, look where we need to go. But yeah, the JPL is definitely getting there. It's definitely getting there, but it's taking its time gradually to go up the ladder. But one day the JPL will get there one day, and the same standard as the MLS, if the same people that, you know, running the football is coming in and try to get better for the league. If, you know, not some little some people that not mature enough, you know, some incompetent people that gonna come into the football and ruin the football. But yeah, I'm going to jump in the match day 20 previews. I'm going to start off with the 2 games, you know, the featured game that going to play at one, Molines versus Dumbo Olin, yeah, Molines versus Dumbo Olin, and also Mount Pleasant versus Montego Bay. So I'm going to start off with Molines. As you know, previously when last time these two teams play, man, at Stadium East, it was the Nelson brothers who steal the show at Stadium East, yeah. Jeremy Nelson, you know, the man scored for Molines, and Nicholas Nelson scored at brace for Dumbo Olin. As you know, it was a really good game. But looking at Dumbo Olin, you know, looking at the players that they have now, looking at where they had in the table, you know, they fancy themselves, you know, to get in that top 6 as they do last season, yeah. Dumbo Olin do last season. They finished ahead of Portmore, you know, in that 6th spot where they finished 1 point ahead of Portmore. You know, look at it, you know, Dumbo Olin is 27-27 with Waterhouse right now, so they will fancy themselves to finish in that top 6, especially the farm that Waterhouse is on, especially the players that, you know, coming in for Dumbo Olin over the last couple of weeks. And you know, the coach is a really good coach, but they just need to shape up a little bit more discipline, you know, in their style of playing, a little bit more direct, you know, a little bit more pace. Sometimes it's a little bit too slow. They're dragging the football around, you know. Sometimes they lack ideas, as if, you know, there's not enough movements in around the ball. But you could see that they are a team that can play the ball out. But when you look at Molines' team, a Molines team that is getting better and better every time they play. Yet they unbeaten in their last 3 games. You know, they've been scoring goals, scoring like 2+ goals. You know, I think for the last 4 games that Molines played, they average a 1.6 goals a game. So you see that team is getting better. When you look at Molines stats, Molines have over 4,000 passes in the Premier League so far. Yeah, they have over 4,000 passes in the Premier League. They top. Yeah, they are top on that statistics table. You know, the most passes in the league by a club. So, and also they are the most intense team that play the most intense football in the Jamaican Premier League season. So this is a team that is getting much better, and especially Jeremy and Thomas. And you have to give previous coach, you know, like, you know, Alex Thomas, a little bit of credit. He started out, you know, the journey this season, but he couldn't manage to get them where they belong. And you know, you could see Jeremy and Thomas is getting and finding his players the right chemistry and a blend, especially at 4-4-2 is doing the job for them. At Trevon Brown and at Jeremy Nelson in the midfield, it's going to be very key tomorrow coming up against, you know, a Dumbo Olin team that's always looking to play the ball around. But I have this to say about, you know, about Dumbo Olin. You know, Dumbo Olin, that game I saw against Lima, you know, they should have put away the game in the first 45 minutes of play. That is their problem this season, not manage to finish their opportunities whenever they get their opportunities, yeah. So it's going to be key, you know, against a Molines. A Molines team is shipping goals, but you know, they also scoring goals. But when you look at a Molines, this is where Molines is really getting better. 1v1 against opponent, they have the most 1v1 dribbles, 388 1v1 dribbles, and they tend to make their game play 1v1. As you know, when you're going up against a defender 1v1, a skillful player like Livingston, he has the most 1v1 battles in the Premier League as a winger. Yeah, he won most of those duels, you know, going down that left or that right hand side. So he's a very important player, but he's just not consistent enough, you know, where he can present a start every week, game in and game week. You know, last season he started out, I would say consistently in terms of getting minutes under his belt, but chop and change. He's been in and out of the team, coming off the bench, starting games, coming off in the 68 minutes. So he's not, getting the minutes that he wanted like he got last season. But you see that he's a quality player, but it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be a very good game, especially for Dumbo Olin, who is 27-27 with points, with Waterhouse, who's in 6th, and also Mollines is on 17. If Mollines can get a win, go on 20 and try to go on a run, you just never know. Don't write them out. Don't write out Mollines, but I'm going to move on. Another game, Mount Pleasant versus Montego Bay. Yeah, these two teams played the last time at Westport Park. Now they're going to take this battle at Jacksal 3:30 p.m. Yeah, the second feature game on Sunday. Remember, last game, these two teams played. Montego Bay, they took the lead. Yeah, they took the lead. They played a really good game. They balled the champions off the park in the first half of play. Should have scored a goal, but they didn't. But they got that goal in the second half. I think around 15 minutes, 20 minutes, into the second half, they got that goal. But right after they got that goal, I think they sat back a little bit too deep. Allow Mount Pleasant to be playing the ball around, allowing Demario Phillips to be playing and spraying passes around. But Mount Pleasant did what they've been doing all season long, finishing the game well. One of the best team in the league when it comes down to the last 15 minutes of play, as they tend to score, they tend to pick up the pace, especially when they down a goal or they, tie, the goal scoring is tied at 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, they tend to go on and win games, and they tend to score a lot of set pieces goal. Yeah, they took a lot of set pieces in their games. But for Montego Bay, a team that awarded 3 points. They lost the game last weekend against Umberland, but they awarded 3 points because of that whole thing with Russian Shark, that 5 yellow card. You just cannot write off a Montego Bay team. Yeah, they have been scoring goals, they have been creating chances, they are one of the better teams, and like in terms of home form, now they're playing away, and this sets of rounds of game, Montego Bay can find themselves in the top 6 for the first time this season. As if Umberland get a positive results from Waterhouse, and if Mollines get a positive result from Dumbo Olin, and Montego Bay go to Jacksal and beat the champions, they will find themselves in the top 6 this season, ending match day 20 in the top 6 for the first time, as that's where they want to belong. You could see, the coach, he always spoke about it, wanting to finish in the top 6, as they have a very good squad at this moment, so when you look at it, Montego Bay is looking for a back-to-back win for the 3rd time. So they have gone on 2 times already this season where they won back-to-back games. Now they're looking to do it at the defending champions home, but it won't be easy because Mount Pleasant has never lost to Montego Bay at Jackson. It just never happened before. So can Nedio dos Santos get the better of Tapa Whitmore team? Also, moving on, another team, Veer versus Lima. Yeah. Can Veer finally get their first 3 points of the calendar year? I don't know. If they don't get this 3 points at Wembley Center, they just need to just kill the season, call it a day and just move on. If they cannot get 3 points at home against a struggling team, Lime, obviously, understand that the circumstances that surrounded the relegation zone, Treasure Beach and Lime, that picking up point, but it's going to be a very crucial game. It's going to be a very crucial game, But when you look at Lime team, you could see that, a team that they gave up, they're not playing well, they're not playing as a group, they're not working hard on the pitch. There's a lot of moments in their game against Dumbo Olin where a lot of loopholes, they equalize and go 1-1. They went back with a back 5, they sat too deep, they allow the pressure to come on them. So they're not playing positive. I mean, look, you all the way down there. Let's play positive from minute 1 to minute 90 and just see where the games can go. Play that a little bit more intense. Play that a little more urgency. But can they get a point at Wembley Center? Yeah, they can get a point, because when you look at a Veer team that's really playing right now, You know, Veer in their last couple of games, you know, Veer, they lost 2-0 at Cavalier. Obviously, they went up to one of the best defensive team in the league. They couldn't score. Not many teams scored on Cavalier. You know, the last goal at Cavalier considered, I think it was an own goal. So when you look at it, Veer lost 2-0, not scoring. You know, played Watos, not scoring. Last 1-0. Played Mobile, last 2-0, not scoring. So you see that, you know, the last 3 games now, Veer have played, they're not scoring, you know. So Lima, can they, you know, exploit that weakness with Veer team? But can Veer exploit that Lima weakness, you know, by leaving a lot of holes in that back line, not playing together, you know, sometimes played with a crazy eye line, not much quality in the back. So let's go with 2 strikers in it, 4-4-2, 2 banks of 4, and just go at Lima. You know, try to ball them off the park. You know, try to full them net up, as you know, they look like they are already preparing for Tier 2 football right now in the Jamaican Premier League. But next up is the game, Umberland versus Waterhouse. You know, Waterhouse is coming under pressure. Yeah, that game that they played against Arnett Garden, that they drew 0-0 at Waterhouse Mini Stadium. Finally, they have some pressure on them, because they saw that Dumberland finally won a game. You know, Montego Bay is winning. Yeah, Montego Bay is winning, just a point behind them, just a point. So you see that, you know, teams are catching up on Waterhouse right now because of that inconsistent form that they're having. Win a game, then they go on to draw or lose, not winning consistently this season. So, and I keep on saying it, they only won back-to-back one time this season. Yeah, they only did it one time this season. So when you look at, you know, a team like Firehouse, who is in 6, you know, they scored 24 goals, conceded 18, so they have a +6 in the Premier League. So that is just not good enough for a team like Waterhouse, who want to finish in the top 6, who want to go on and also win the Jamaican Premier League. Yeah, can they do it? I don't think so. They're just not playing consistently. They have really good players, but Waterhouse, this game, it's going to be a really good battle. You know, this game going to be a really good battle between Umberland and Waterhouse, as you know, Umberland themselves at Effortville Community Centre, they just not playing good. They just not the team as they possessed last season. But really good team, you know. But again, should they have enough to get something out of this game at home? Yes, but they have to take the game by the stroke of the neck from minute 1 to minute 90 against a Waterhouse team who is struggling also to score goals. Yeah, who is struggling. But when you look at Waterhouse, we say front 4, you know, with Javian Bryan, you know, Andre Fletcher, who you said, Denada Thomas, you know, Gibbinson, players like these, you know, really good players, exciting players, you know, they can take away the game from any team on any given day, you know, in the Jamaican Premier League. But they're not doing it consistently, and you know, it's up to the coach, you know, Marcel Fozzigill, to get the best out of his players, you know. So let's see what's going to happen, you know, in Clarendon at Effortville Community Centre against Umberland and Waterhouse. Can Waterhouse, you know, keep their unbeaten run, especially join a game against Arnett Garden, in a game that they should have, you know, lose that game, but you know, they get something out of that game. They don't get many points from the clubs that in the top 5 this season, in the top 5 in the league this season. So you see that, you know, maybe they can take that game with Arnett with some positive and go into Umberland and try to get something big from that game. Also, the next game, last up, Tivoli versus Portmore. Yeah, Tivoli versus Portmore, as you know, these two teams are top in the table. Yeah, they're in the top 5. You know, they are two teams that's really good right now and farm. Yeah, Portmore is just 2 points ahead of Tivoli. A win for Tivoli, they will jump above Portmore in the league standing. If Portmore win, they can go ahead of Mount Pleasant if Mobile beat Mount Pleasant, but that's the farthest they can go. And Tivoli, that's the farthest they can go, beat Portmore and stay in 3rd position. But they drop points, they leave room for Arnett Garden, who is just 2 points behind them in the league standing. Portmore won that game, the last game that they played against Arborview. Yeah, Arborview 1-0. But Tivoli just never lost back-to-back games in the Jamaican Premier League. It never happened. Yeah, it never happened. So let's see if Portmore is a team that going to let Tivoli lose their first game back-to-back. As you know, Tivoli lost that game at Jacksal. A very disappointed one. Tivoli, their performance, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a nice, display from the Garden team. I know Jeremy going to give them a kick. I know he's going to give them a kick. Like the next game that they're going to play, Portmore, he's going to let them look. You played against Mount Pleasant, a game that you should have get something out of that game. Look to peg, Mount Pleasant back, from that who is up there in the table. Playing against Portmore at back-to-back games against top 5 teams in the Jamaican Premier League season. Tivoli I just don't see Tivoli dropping points again. I just don't see. When Tivoli, go on to lose a game, they normally progress to win the next game and get some positive results. But when you look at it, it's not going to be easy, as this is the first time losing a game and then go on to play another team in the top half of the table. And guess what? It's Portmore, a team that's having a wonderful form right now. 12 games unbeaten. Not 12 games, 12 games unbeaten. 12 games unbeaten. 1.8 goals a game they average. So this is a team going to score and they're not conceding a lot of goals. But I know Jeremy have something up in his sleeves for what's his name? Mr. Philip Williams out there for Portmore. But I must say, this game is going to be a very good game. This game is going to be a very good game between these two teams. As Tivoli is going to be one of the teams that's fighting for the Jamaican Premier League this season. Also, Portmore is looking for the 8th Premier League title. Yeah, they're looking to push the gap ahead of them. Who is behind them? Arnett Gardner and those teams on 5 Premier League titles. For their name. But let's see what this going to happen. It's going to be. It might be a popcorn game. It might be a popcorn game. But I tell you something. The last couple of times these teams have played. Not many big results between them. As in the last time they played, it's a 0-0 draw. Portmore won the game before that, and 0-0, 1-1, and 1-1. So you could see that the teams kind of equal or cancel out each other, as they are very good teams. But for the last 4 games, not very big results, not much goals scored between these two teams. So maybe you see a nice 1-0 victory between Portmore and Tivoli. But I've come to the end of the JPL preview of match day 20. Yo, people, bless upon yourself. You don't know Nicardo Media House there again. I catch you guys back on Sunday. After Sunday, I will give a scoreline reaction live. So catch me live around whenever the last game done. Catch me right after that. I think the last game finished around 6:30. So but catch me 6:30. Yeah, catch me 6:30 Sunday for the match day reaction. Of what happened over the match day 20. Review the scoreline, what happened. So thanks for watching. This is Nicardo Media House. Salute. Peace out.